Is Warhammer Gladius the deep strategic 4X game you've always wanted? Or is it a confusing mess of two similar factions that's as shallow as a kiddie pool? Watch on and find out! My name is Thorax, and this is Strategy for Busy People. If you've got a few minutes, I'll tell you what to play. This time on Strategy for Busy People, we're looking at Warhammer 40,000 Gladius, Relics of War by Proxy Studios. I've got about 10 hours in this game. While the traditional definition of 4X gaming usually involves building an empire, Warhammer Gladius is a little bit more of a base builder within the turn-based strategy genre. Sure, there's the requisite tech tree that unlocks new units, buildings, and so on and so forth, but you don't really get that empire building feel of a game like Civilization or Galactic Civilizations. The other thing you most definitively won't get is a campaign. That's right, this is essentially a multiplayer-only experience. Yes, you can play against the computer AI at varying difficulty levels, with 1 to 4 players in a game, and there are quite a lot of levers to pull to customize the game experience. But it's still pretty much the same game, no matter which way you slice it. If you don't have friends, and I sure don't, all you can do is play with yourself. And by that I mean with fake computer friends who just want to kill you. Some friends those are. In terms of strategic depth, I suppose that there's a lot going on. There are lots of different terrain types, and your units receive various bonuses or penalties depending on which terrain they're in. Melee and ranged combat are both important. Understanding the terrain, your units, and the enemy units becomes an important balancing act. There are several different factions that you can play, each with its own tech tree that comes with its own unique buildings, weapons, units, and so forth. I only played as the Space Marines and the Orcs, and the latter for only a few minutes. But after spending only a few minutes with my second faction, I came to the realization that getting really good at this game would involve many hours of researching different build orders for different factions and which units have which strategies against which. Ugh. And that brings me to my first actual complaint about the game. Despite being 4X-y-ish in nature and turn-based, it really almost plays like a bizarre RTS. You have to manage your resources and build resource production buildings to manage your production, to keep your supply line in order so that you can continue to spam out units while your progression of research upgrades your tech tree. If you turned off the turns, it would almost feel like an annoying old-school World of Warcraft game. Make sure you research this building to get that unit out, and then do this upgrade and produce 7 of these before you make the next thing, and so on and so forth. That doesn't sound like fun, especially when you're doing it against the computer. Okay, it's not entirely true that there's no campaign. There are some quests that you can add to your gameplay experience, but they really only give you some lightweight bonuses, and mostly just get in the way. Speaking of things that get in the way, how about that introductory game? It's entirely unclear what the goals are after you play through the introductory instructions. It also seems like the unit difficulty ramps up very quickly, or maybe I just don't know what I'm doing. I had several restarts and retries on that introductory mission, and I failed spectacularly each time. I'm pretty sure I don't know what I'm doing. I ultimately decided to give the game one more fair shake, and played a 1v1 against a computer AI opponent. I did get pretty far into the late game, I promise. I had a problem with my game capture, and can't show the footage of my epic tank force rolling destruction on my foes. But as I finally discovered the enemy base and was about to crush them, I realized that every playthrough would be like this, only at potentially harder difficulty levels. I quickly lost interest and decided to give one other faction a try, which I mentioned earlier. Before I give my final verdict, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share it with your friends. Agree with me, disagree with me, or want to see other content? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to support me in making more of these videos, become a patron on Patreon. Your support really makes a difference. The final verdict. If you like RTS games and you like turn-based battle games, Warhammer 40,000 Gladius Relics of War has a lot to offer. But if you're a friendless YouTuber like this clown, the lack of a campaign really is a letdown. The strategic depth and the interplay between the different factions' units looks good on the surface, but who has time to put that many hours into a deep understanding of it all? On my trademarked 3-point score scale of avoid, meh, and I forgot to eat, I might have put 10 hours into this thing, but it was mostly because I had no idea what was going on for many of the first of them. Meh.